Okay, here's a quick little tip. Well, it's not a quick little tip. It's my advice of buying cameras. Many of you will know that I generally buy a lot of stuff which is second-hand, partly because I'm Scottish and we refuse to pay full price on most things. But also just the prices of the camera market is so bullshit at the start. Whenever they first go, like, pre-orders, get it for £2,500, and then like 6 months later when you actually need it, it's like £1,000 cheaper. So I'm very in favour of people buying second-hand. However, my tips for buying second-hand is I only ever buy second-hand goods from like a reputable retailer, which I would really say is only really Amazon that I know of, which if anything's wrong with it, it's so easy for me to return it. There's a little tab on Amazon saying fulfilled by Amazon, which means if there's something wrong with it, it goes back to Amazon. You don't have to fuck around with the person that sold you it and all that kind of stuff. At the same time, the majority of the other stuff which I buy, which is secondhand, I buy in person. I go along, I touch it, I feel it, I see it, and then I hand over the money. The biggest thing, like, there's a couple shops in Edinburgh which sell second-hand camera gear, and if the shop has kind of like a warranty with it, absolutely brilliant, do that. However, I don't generally buy from a second-hand shop which I'm not able to walk into, kind of thing. So if it's one saying, we're down in London, come along and or we can post up this camera, because some of the stuff which I've seen which is saying second hand, mint condition, you look at it and go, hell no, it's not mint condition. I was looking at a Nikon D3X in a shop, and oh my god, it looked like it had been battered, and it was saying in good condition, and it was just like, physically and mechanically, yeah, it may be working absolutely fine, but man, that looks like it's being thrown off a cliff. So the kind of, I don't think there's any legal ideas of what can be classified as good condition, working condition, mint condition, boxed condition, because you could have kept the box and thrown it out a window or dropped it from a car or dropped it in the sea and then put it back in the box and go, yeah, it's totally fine. So there's, I would always say, be in person, touch it, hold it, see it, feel it, use it before paying. I'm heading off just now to buy a second-hand camera from a person, and it is, even though I buy cameras, I buy cameras, I sell cameras, I buy cameras, sell cameras, it's still pretty bloody nerve-wracking when you're handing over physical money. I don't know whether it's a Scottish thing again, but like having the actual wad of cash, the wedge of cash, is really quite nerve-wracking. Handing that over to a person, just going, there's more than £1,000 I'm just giving to you. And it's not just the handing over, it's the taking it out. Like, you do feel like a bit of a gangster when you go into the bank and go, yeah, can I have £2,000 cash, 50 quids only? You're like, I feel like a badass. But at the same time, then you're walking out of the bank and you're walking down the street and you're just kind of going, I've got so much money tucked in my ass. Oh, this is really a bit nervous. But generally, that's what I would still recommend, is do it with cash. Bank transfers, PayPals, I'm always a bit suspicious of if somebody's a bit of a internet whiz kid and knows how to fake a PayPal payment or is able to retract it in some sort of way after you've bought it or after you've paid it and all that kind of stuff. So for me, cash in hand, although it's scary, I have much more confidence in the transaction being completed and being done. So cash in hand and physical buying rather than over the phone or via the internet for second-hand gear. That would be my advice. Okay, hope that helps. Bye. The other thing I would have to advise that's great about buying in person with cash is the fact that you get a good chat. Just bought a camera there, and I had exactly 1 hour to kind of drive all the way out here, check it out, drive back, pick up my wife from in town, and totally ran over the schedule, just talking about cameras, looking at photos, looking at his lenses, doing all that kind of stuff. And that's the kind of service that you don't get when you go into a shop. It's like, hi, can I buy this? Yeah, there is. Do you want it? Okay, thanks. Okay, I'll leave now. But there, you're inside a person's house with, you can see their artwork, their lens collections, and just have a little chat about all that stuff. Which, if you're a camera nerd like myself, that could go. Oh, me and him could have been there for a good 2 hours, had a coffee, like happy, just chatting away, talking about lenses, sharpness, file sizes, all that kind of stuff, which you don't get if you're buying from a shop or buying first hand. So that's the extra experience you get from second hand buying.